Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians Cast, episode 491. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Mike D. What's up, Mike?
Good evening.
All right, so doing podcasts as usual, talking about Doctor Who. Really, the whole season, we had Peter Capaldi, we had Manifestra, Jenny Strax, Jenna Louise Coleman, Clara. We've had Kate Stewart, Osgood. I'm thinking that next year we're going to even have more semi-companions or whatever you want to call them. I think we're going to get some blasts from the past, and I think they've been hinting at that for a while because we've seen pictures with Peter Capaldi and Leela, Peter Capaldi and Joe Grant, Peter Capaldi with everybody, with Tegan, Janet Fielding. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot more connections to the classic series than usual, only because he's such a huge fan that even if it's not indirectly, we'll see some familiar faces returning in the form of villains, maybe Sea Devils, maybe some of Capaldi's favorites. And I think he does have influence in shaping where Doctor Who is going. Even so much so that if he were to leave Doctor Who, I feel that he may stick around, Peter Capaldi, as either a writer or a showrunner. That's how much influence he's going to have. Now, what do you think, Mike?
Well, you covered quite a bit there about what specifically.
I mean, anything. Just pick and choose.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more of a feel of a return to the classic series, and as far as because as I've commented before on some of the past podcasts, I think that it's gotten a little too flashy with some of its storytelling, and I'd kind of like to see it get a little bit not quite over the top with some of the stuff that happened, particularly during Matt Smith's era, and
right.
kind of rein it back in, give it a little bit more of a gothic feel, sort of from the Hinchcliffe era of like Tom Baker's, and give it a little bit more of a mystery feel to it. And I like a little bit more than like all the space adventure stuff going on, kind of like Talons of Wing Chiang and
yeah.
like Pyramids of Mars.
I would want a whole season off Earth because I'm getting tired of seeing Earth all the time. And I think they need to change it up a little bit and just not be on Earth the whole entire season. Just be off Earth completely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he could visit so many different possibilities. He could be in a lot of trouble with some of the positive races that he's helped out just by erasing his memory, their memory banks of him. They could be pissed off with interfering with their laws and stuff.
I'd like to see maybe a return to Metebelis 3 from Pertwee's last story, Planet of the Spiders.
Right.
Maybe have it somehow tied into Kill the Moon, possibly, because of the story with the spiders going on there.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling stuff out of my ass here. But, I mean, I like Metebelis 3, that whole thing with the giant spiders and the queen and stuff. I always thought that was rather intriguing.
And he had a fear of spiders that I didn't know about until after that was done, and he conquered his fear.
And with the crystal that he had, with him going back...
Was it Genji?
Choji.
Joji? Joji.
Yeah. No, Cho. C-H-O.
Joji? Okay. Now, that was his friend that was a monk, but not the meddling monk. There's the different... it was a type that he was on Gallifrey with him and basically shaping him as, like, he used to go to the, meditate with the Joe, well, I keep getting the name wrong anyway. But anyway, while the Master was with the Dark Order, whatever, with the Untempered Schism in the negative black arts or whatever, he was meditating with the monk, and learning a different way of life, a positive way of life, a good course.
And Choji jump-started his regeneration energy.
Correct.
Correct. Brigadier and Sarah Jane, yeah. So I just like the whole storyline about the thing, like you were saying, his fear of the spiders and having to confront his fear and go back to the planet and being irradiated from being there, which led to him being, I believe he was stuck, if I remember correctly, in some sort of time loop for a while before he ended up like landing back on Earth and falling out of the TARDIS. There was like a period of time where he was
Well,
kind of
what do you mean when they forced him to regenerate from Patrick
no,
Troughton to John Pertwee?
no,
No.
no, 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 no. In Planet of the Spiders, there's something.
Right.
I'll have to go back and read about it, but there was something that, like Pertwee mentioned something about like when he left, like in the episode as we're watching it, it's happening like just in sequential time, but apparently like in the story, I believe in the novel, I recall a little bit of them explaining this,
Okay.
that from the time that he leaves the planet of the spiders at the end of the episode and suffering the radiation poisoning to the time he lands back on Earth to fall out of the TARDIS in front of the Brigadier and Sarah,
Right.
there has been some period of time that's gone by where he's been like dealing with this radiation and he's been like in the TARDIS, like
Oh,
something's been going on there. Yeah, it's referred to.
I
It's kind of
wasn't
interesting.
aware. I wasn't aware of that. That is interesting. And
Yeah,
now,
because
did that affect his regeneration,
well,
or not really?
that's what they're talking about in the book and in the episode when he comes out of the TARDIS and he's like, I'm so tired, and he's talking to Sarah Jane right before he regenerates.
That's here, Sarah Jane. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and that's why he's so worn down, is that there is a period of time that's happened from when he left the planet to when he arrives there, right before he regenerates, and then there's like
Right.
Choji. That's why he's like, he needs some help, and then he does this little thing that kind of gives him
Right.
some more power to regenerate.
Right. It's funny that the way I see it, right? I think that the Time Lords felt guilty in a way because they did force him to regenerate from Patrick Troughton into John Pertwee. They punished him basically. But now, when he saved Gallifrey, it's like they gave him not only one regeneration back, but probably unlimited. So I think it's justified them that I don't want to see it as an overall purpose for him to save Gallifrey, but that they admit that they did wrong, and they kind of like just restored order to his regenerations.
Yeah. By the
I
way,
mean,
I'm
if you
pulling
look
up.
at the yeah,
I was just going to say, by the way, while you're talking, I'm just going to pull up what we were talking about with Planet of the Spiders just to embellish upon that a little more.
right. And if I remember, Patrick Troughton didn't refer
Oh,
to
wait,
it as regeneration; he referred to it as a renewal.
yeah, I'm
Um,
sorry. I have to do a correction here. I don't think it's Choji. I think it's Kampo Rinpoche
yes. Okay.
is
I
his
thought
name.
that. Okay. Campo Report. Yeah. I can't even say it.
Yeah, we'll just call him
Apologize, guys.
Rinpoche.
Campo. Yeah. So,
Kampo.
um, I gotta say, like, of course, Tom Baker was my doctor, and we had some amazing stories with Tom Baker. I mean, why can't they bring the Jaggeroth back? Those are my favorite, like City of Death, the Jaggeroth, Count Scorleone, Scaroth. It's like the different. He was. I mean, you could honestly present the argument that City of Death is Series 5, 6, and 7 because of the cracks. And also, the Impossible Girl being split into different times is the Jaggeroth. I mean, you could say that from City of Death, he created many stories. Okay? Honestly, you can say that.
I've got that write up here real quick for you.
My challenge is, I want to know, because I am pretty sure I've seen it, that the Doctor saluted the Brigadier in the past. I am pretty freaking sure, but I can't pinpoint it. I gotta find the episode before anybody else. What is the episode where he salutes the Brigadier? Because I remember he used to salute everybody. I remember John Pertwee had saluted somebody he didn't even know in like a military thing. I think it was. Oh God, what was the episode? What was the friggin' episode, man?
Well, we're trying to figure that out. We've been talking about that for
Oh
years.
crap! It was. I think he saluted the Brigadier, man. I gotta find the episode before anybody else does, because I'm pretty. You know, I don't care if they find it before me. Somebody find the friggin' episode. He definitely saluted the Brigadier. Definitely.
And he was Pertwee, right? Are you sure
I'm pretty sure, man. I mean, I could be wrong, but
are you sure he didn't do that like in the Silurians as kind of like a mock sort of thing, like he's kind of mocking?
Man, I don't know. No, man, because I remember seeing this episode where they had this reactor thing, and the guy touched it, it became green, and it was like a creature, and this guy didn't even know was trying to, like, he was overseeing the project, and he gave him a salute, and it wasn't even
that sounds like
Inferno? No.
Yeah.
Inferno. It is Inferno. He saluted somebody, but it wasn't the Brigadier. But he saluted it like he didn't have nothing against saluting people. You know? So, like, I'm pretty sure he saluted the Brigadier. It's gotta be.
He could have been doing that for his own kind of joke to himself. Like,
no,
kind of
but I don't believe that whole Moffat thing that he never saluted the Brigadier and now he was fucking waiting for a salute. Excuse my language.
Well,
that I don't believe.
Before I forget it, to go back to what we were talking about with Planet of Spiders, I have another correction to make. You can tell it's been a while since I've seen this episode, but Campo is forced to regenerate by merging with his assistant Cho-Ji.
Cho-Chi, that's what I said. Cho-Chi, right?
Was a projection of Campo's self.
Cho-Chi, yeah, whatever his name is. Yeah, Cho-Chi.
Yeah, and then the thing we're talking about here is when the Doctor returns back to Earth, just before he regenerates, like at the end of that episode, Sarah runs up to him. He explains to her that he got lost in the time vortex. He got lost in the time vortex and did not have the strength left to land the TARDIS, and therefore had to wait for it to land on its own accord. So that was what I was referring to. Apparently the book embellishes upon that a little bit more. In the novel, I think Terrence Dicks did that.
Right, but I somebody freaking find the episode, please, about John Pertwee saluting the Brigadier, or one of the Doctors saluting the Brigadier. Gotta be, man. Gotta be. I'm telling you, it's out there. Why can't I think of it? It's out there. And the Seventh Doctor traveled ahead into the future because he knew when the Brigadier died. Because in Battlefield, he said, oh, this is not the way it was supposed to happen. You're supposed to die in bed, meaning an old man. And that's exactly how he died in Wedding River Song, when the Doctor was traveling with Dorian Moldovar's head, and he calls up and he's like, oh, he told me to pour a brandy for you, but he passed away in his sleep. So the Seventh Doctor knew when the Brigadier died because he traveled to the future, because he checked up on him. So it's kind of weird that the other Doctors don't remember that stuff, you know, with everything going on and everything. So that was Battlefield, where he revealed that he knew when the Brigadier died. Sylvester McCoy, the Seventh Doctor. So,
I like the Autons. I'd like to see them come back.
Yeah, I think we need to go where the Nestine consciousness is, and I think we need to explain a little bit why. I mean, maybe you can connect what happened to Rory, like where his.
And it was like $1,600.
Are you getting a little talk on mine? Hey.
Yeah, I hear a lot. Well, I'm just gonna mute you for a second. Hold on a second.
It's all right.
All right. So we're gonna. What was I saying?
You were talking about connecting the Autons to Rory.
Yeah, because you know what it was. For some reason, his soul went into the Auton. So that's the same way that Danny Pink soul went back into his own body, but as a Cyberman. But honestly, how much time passed that body face decomposed like that? Because that was a little bit absurd. Face didn't even look right. Like, did he die like weeks ago or months ago? Or because they had a service for him and everything. Which, if they had a service for him, he should have been in the ground, not on a table. Danny Pink. So I think that's where, they got it wrong there, but
maybe it's coming next time.
I don't know. What do you have to say?
I was just thinking about what you were talking about with the whole Danny Pink thing. I was thinking, I guess, more about like some of the classic villains I'd like to see return, or maybe just like where they could be going with some things.
I think they need to do more with the Nethersphere because that was just, not really explained. I mean, I remember seeing that thing and I'm like, I didn't even know that was Nethersphere. I'm like, what the hell is this light thing? You know?
I think it'd be kind of cool if we had like another run-in with Sutek, or even
I
even if
technically think Sutek's still around. He just got transported somewhere or something because he was in the middle of transporting back and forth, and he just, I think he's around somewhere.
well, technically, remember, like they were talking about Jack the Ripper sort of thing for like Deep Breath, but that really wasn't like Jack the Ripper. So I was thinking, it might be
Yeah,
cool
but
to do
she
like
killed
a
Vastra killed Jack the Ripper though. She killed him in a Good Goes to War in the beginning.
yeah. Well, you could find out that maybe that's not really Jack the Ripper, and they could have a real Jack the Ripper, and that would be cool to have a Talons of Wing Chiang sort of feeling like gothic sort of episode with Capaldi's doctor and doing that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you
I
can you mute me for a moment, please?
one second, one second.
Yeah,
Let
thanks.
me one. Yeah, you're muted. Okay, so I think if you really look at the classic episodes, we know they're drawing from the classic episodes. We know that the weapon from Stolen Earth was the reality bomb. That was also like the same weapon that the Valuard had, the Decimator or the whatever the heck it was. Same type of weapon, different story. Decades later, certain storyline again, the Three Doctors, where the antimatter universe got explosion from matter. That was the same way they explained, in a way, Time Crash, where the Doctor's TARDIS exploded and imploded. The 10th Doctor and the 5th Doctor is also the same way that the Pandorica was explained. It exploded and imploded at the same time. The whole dream thing, I don't think was ever explored with the Master. How he was just able to get in people's dreams and make them have nightmares and stuff, and the time, and then they kept using that, but with different things. It's amazing. Like there's hidden things around that they're just not explained. Also the symbols on the church was that Omega. I mean, that's just, who was the voice in the TARDIS? We still don't know that. Even Moffat said he didn't reveal that yet. So many unexplained stuff. It's new Who and old Who. It's like that they need to clear up, and Moffat knows that there's certain things he didn't answer yet. So
What episode was that voice that was in the TARDIS?
that was Pandorica Opens.
Okay.
Silence will fall. That's what which sounded like Omega, honestly, from like Three Doctors, in a way. Which he should have returned a while ago. That's just bullcrap that he didn't return.
Well, I
That's
don't
just
want to
bullcrap.
throw everything in the kitchen sink.
No, but you know what though? I mean, like, I'm trying to understand how his whole basis for episodes is like Moffat. Like, for some reason he's just like anti-Ronnie. So, he just won't bring Ronnie back, period.
Well,
I mean, I don't.
I think they made the right
Just
choice by having the Master come back instead.
well, I like that now, but
Yeah.
I still feel that why write the character off? I mean, now you can't really bring the Ronnie in because there'll be another female Time Lord. It really wouldn't work. So, okay, Ronnie gets a break for like a couple of years, but I think
Actually, it would be quite interesting because remember the Master and the Ronnie got together in Mark of the Ronnie. It would be kind of funny now to have a couple of broads together, like maybe
fighting it out,
getting a little
battling it out.
pissy, cat fight with one another over who gets to kill the Doctor or something. Yeah, that'd be great.
Right. I think the guy Seb should return from that she killed. Well, he was a computer anyway. That interface thing. I think he should return. He was pretty funny. That guy was talking to Teddy Pink. You don't like him?
Are you talking about from Time Heist?
No, I'm talking about Seb,
oh.
the guy from Death Didn't Have Any Explain. Well, it's not the Underworld. He's like explaining to Danny Pink, and then he's like, he's happy that the Doctor's escaping, and she just vaporized him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should return. He's pretty funny. But then a lot of things too. They keep showing the mechanic from the Mummy episode, Mummy on the Orient Express. Like,
Hmm.
what is with that mechanic? Is he a Time Lord mechanic? Is he Drax from that episode? Remember Tom Baker's episode that he
Well, I mean, I'm thinking.
found him. They went to school together. Like he was in the same class as the Master and the Ronnie, the guy Drax. And he said he was super intelligent, but he didn't care about being super intelligent. He just wanted to like fix things.
He was a
Like
tinkerer.
yeah, like that was his thing. He didn't care. You know, like he was in the same, like he was probably shunned with the Master and Ronnie. Like, oh, look at that freak over there in that chair. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in the same class, but they never really, like the Doctor knew him, but like he never really interacted, I guess, with the whole class. And he just found them on that planet at that time. Remember? I mean, that, you know, I'm sure that guy is a regenerated Drax, I think. Because why would he bring him in the TARDIS to see what he needs to be fixed? I mean, he's been rebuilding the TARDIS how many times already, the Doctor? Why would he need anybody to look at the TARDIS? Unless there's something there.
Sometimes it's good to leave some loose strings about.
No, but there was a significance to that. You didn't just throw it in the episode. You don't just bring anybody in the TARDIS to look at the engines that he didn't even know. And for some reason, he had this guy look at the engines.
Well,
I'm telling you.
I had the impression from watching the episode that the reason he did that is because the guy had a respect for machinery, and the Doctor was like, you know, this guy would probably get a kick out of seeing the intricacies of my time machine.
But he didn't, because it wasn't a surprise to him. Because he knew what was wrong with the TARDIS, and he told him. He's like, all right. But, like, something else is there, dude. I'm telling you. He was not amazed at the TARDIS at all. Like, it wasn't like, oh, wow, this is awesome.
Well,
so,
I saw it one time. You probably saw it like 15. So, I mean, I
know. I have a habit. I have a habit of watching things a lot. But, yeah, I think there's some significance for him. I think he's Drax. Terminally regenerated, I guess. You know, the Tinkerer or whatever they want to call him. So, I think they should start doing that. I think they should start having, like, I was saying that on another podcast before, I think they should have, like, team-ups. Like, it's one thing for the Doctor to fight the Master. And it was amazing when he had to fight the Master and the Ronnie. You know? But what if he had to fight, fight four of them?
I got an idea. And this would be cool.
The Celestial Toymaker, the Monk, all of them together at the same time.
Something I would like to see, and this is just the fanboy in me, I'd like to see maybe a season, or maybe even if they, like in progressive seasons, if they just did like movies like they did with that one season with David Tennant, maybe where they can have him having to revisit multiple companions for different stories, for different reasons. Like overall, like the Key to Time. But, like, maybe he has to go visit Tegan and then Susan and then Turbo.
Why can't they have the Mara return with Tegan? Like, Mara is coming after Tegan, and he has
but I'm saying that's the story arc for the season, is that he's having to, like every other episode, or every, like, maybe, you know, you could have, like, two-parters, and, like, over 13 episodes, you could have, like, half of them are two-parters with, like, a companion, and he has to revisit 3 companions, you know?
Right. Well, they could do that. They could also have somebody hunting down the companions. I mean, look at how the Daleks plucked Rory and Amy out of the blue, knowing that that's the Doctor's companions. Why couldn't they just go after past companions?
Well, they could have one with Tegan with the Daleks, considering she left, and then the way she left with Doc 5. You know, they could play off that resentment that she has over the Doctor with her leaving. They lure him back, his guilt over, like, you know, well, you know, poor Tegan, I don't want to leave her like this, you know? This is my fault.
They could have Peter Capaldi dealing with Tegan, and then he can't remember. No, but he can't remember because he's like 2,000 years old now, what was going on. So he can't remember where the Fifth Doctor was at what time.
No, so but see, I think the opposite would be cool, is if he found out that he did actually remember something that it would seem inconsequential to us, that would be surprising to him, and go that he always did carry a bit of a guilt over that.
Well, they've done that, though. They've done that where the 10th Doctor explained that as the fourth Doctor, he loved Sarah Jane. Like, like he was upset the way he left her. You know, I mean, it was even if it was another incarnation, it was like he kept it all like his emotions, but he did.
Yeah, but see but see Tegan left him. He didn't leave. He left Sarah Jane. Tegan left him. So see, it's a different. It's like, you didn't break up with me. I broke up with you.
But when the fifth Doctor came into play, and he needed to go to the Zero Room to get reset, like where the complete regeneration process.
Yeah.
He was mumbling a whole bunch of stuff, like he was upset that Romana left, emotions that you didn't know the Doctor was thinking until after regenerated. He's like, oh, we got rid of her room. It's like I would think that he is upset. What happened with Tegan?
But that could be part of why people are calling him like dark. Is that he's starting to kind of regain some of this stuff, some of this humanity.
So in other words, the next season he isn't as dark. He's kind of like lighthearted, or
well, no, I wouldn't say lighthearted, but I mean more like maybe more like Pertwee, where he's a little bit more like a trusty uncle sort of type, rather than like just a stranger who you're not really sure who they are.
Right.
Like Pertwee, you never felt like you were in danger being around him. Like with Capaldi this season, like. You're not sure if you were traveling with him if he would have just left your ass.
Well, I said, which Doctor would you want to save you? And it's nothing against Peter Capaldi, but there was so much death with Peter Capaldi. I wouldn't want to be saved by him.
Well, you never asked me that question.
Well, who would you want to save you?
Well, I mean,
I say David Tennant, absolutely.
Well, they're all the same person, but I mean, I would see
Tom Baker.
I'd pick Pertwee. I don't know if anyone would pick Peter Davison, although I love Pete Davison. But
no, I would never.
I
would never pick Colin Baker. I would never pick Peter Davison.
Oh, Sylvester McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy, I would pick. I would pick Patrick Troughton.
I'm not really sure about Hartnell. I don't know. I mean, he just seemed more like irascible. Like people were just kind of like annoyances.
Yeah, I would definitely. Because you know what it is. It was weird the way it was written with Peter Davison. It's like in a lot of cases you thought he was going to lose every episode. Like it kind of looked like
like
a weak link, but it wasn't. I mean, I liked him, but it just seemed like, oh crap, like because even Tegan said it all, man. It's like all around his death and everything. Like the Silurians and the Sea Devils and all. I mean, it's like. Everybody's dying everywhere.
Yeah, Turlo left at just the right time too, right?
Oh, I couldn't stand Turlo.
Oh, come on.
I friggin' hate it. Dude, I hated Turlo, man.
Oh.
Don't even, it doesn't even come close. Don't even compare him with Adric. Because let me tell you something. Turlo, I could not stand Turlo. I am sorry. Are you kidding?
I was just about to say.
I'm dead serious.
You can't compare him with Adric. Adric was a little douche.
Dude,
I mean, come on.
Let me tell you something, dude.
Turlo
was a sneaky,
but
dark,
that's the point of his character.
Freaking backstabbing piece.
Well, you didn't have to like him personally. Like
the only good thing he ever did was bring Perry in the TARDIS. That's it.
But you can appreciate what they did with his character far more so than Adric. Adric to me was just like some little douchebag and. Adric had his place in the role.
I was alright with Adric, but the thing was is that with Turlo, man, I was like, with Turlo, I was like, it's like always that awkward crap, like the way the Fifth Doctor looked at him, he's like he's doing his hardest, he's looking on his shoulder, oh, is he gonna stab me in the throat? I mean, it's like, how could you? He didn't trust him, and he had him in the TARDIS.
That creates drama, though. Come on, that's better than.
Man.
Oh, come on.
That was just rough how he was alone with the Fifth Doctor. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I'm saying you have to separate.
Drop him off.
That's called compelling. You have to
compassion,
separate.
Because where is he going to go, Turlo? Like, someone's killed you like 5 times.
You have to separate, like, whether or not this guy would be your pal, or if you appreciate.
He would definitely not be my pal. He would be on the. I would be like,
point.
Yeah, I would like. He should have just left him on an asteroid. Like, he wouldn't even check if it's if it was breathable. Just throw it all. I mean, come on, man. That guy tried. How many times did that guy try to kill him? with the Black Guardian, telling him what he's. I mean, come on, man. Even Mordred, come on. That's
Yeah, but the point is, he grew into a good guy
where?
as a result of that.
Ah, come
Oh, well,
on.
don't you remember in Planet of Fire when he's like telling the doctor,
Don't.
"I've learned so much from you," and
Yeah,
thank you. And,
what a load of like.
oh, you're wrong. You're wrong
Tell
about
him
this.
that until he takes over something. Come on.
You're wrong. The character
He was not likable.
Turlo's an underrated character.
Get the heck out of here.
I'll
Turlo?
argue this with you. Yeah.
Dude, no freaking way. No way. Dude. Turlo was the worst.
No.
Such a sneaky bastard, that
But
guy.
he was a compelling companion because of that.
Oh.
You never knew if he was going to take an opportunity to maybe stick a shiv in the doctor or something. You know,
It's like if they were all, if Adric didn't die, if they're all with them and stuff, he would have been like having them fight amongst themselves like a puppet master, and it would have caused so much drama you wouldn't even believe.
Well, that's like the point of a drama.
I would have seen him go to Davros and say, "Hey, man, I don't think you're thinking big enough, man. I think you need to kill 5 planets, not 4." It's like, I mean, come on, like the guy is just like did not like him.
He saved Perry. I mean, albeit it could have been for other purposes on his mind,
Well,
but I mean, yeah.
That goes to show. I mean, he's not a total. I mean, all right, he did something good, man. But wouldn't anybody, whether they be like a villain or not? I mean, Perry.
Well, that's why. Hey, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'd jump in and save Perry too, because I mean, she might be one to reward, such things. But I mean, maybe that's what he had in his mind.
I'm just saying, like, that's the only good thing he did. But then that sucked too, because we really didn't get enough time with her and the 5th.
Oh, that would have been
like,
great. Now.
God, in an eye blink, it was like over.
I would have traded you McCoy's first season for like a whole season with Davison and Nicola Bryant.
Oh, friggin' Paradise Towers, Delta and the Bannerman, all that crap.
Oh,
what a load of Jesus.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that and actually questioning, why am I watching this still? I have all the years that I was. I'm telling you, I was watching, and then I'm like, it's gonna get better, right? Please tell me it's gonna get better. Those were bad episodes, man.
Well, like, what were they like? Greatest Show in the Galaxy, I think, was when it started to show some promise again, because it seemed like
Remembrance of the Daleks, though. Remembrance of the Daleks was awesome.
But
that was a season opener.
Yeah, I'm saying the first. What was it? Time in the Rani, Paradise Towers, Delta.
Time in the Rani. Oh God. Yeah, Paradise Towers. That's a bad one. What was the other one? Oh God.
It's so bad. I don't. Oh, it's Dragonfire, right?
Jesus. Yeah, where they got Ace. Jesus. That whole season, I tried to forget in my mind, just erase it. Rewritten, because it was just what. But then you got the greatest fucking season ever. Excuse my language. Got like Battlefield going on and Curse of Fenric and shit.
I like Silver Nemesis.
Yeah, man.
You didn't like Survival though.
I fucking hated that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You never seen me curse really that much, but when I tell you I hated Survival, I freaking hated it.
Did you hate it worse than Turlo? Was it that bad or?
Yeah, I think I did actually.
Oh, well, that's gonna be bad then. Yeah, but we got the Candyman, and that's awesome.
The Happiness Patrol. Come on.
That
was the same season as Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Yeah.
Well, I mean the episode sucked, but I mean like the Candyman was
first time the TARDIS was pink, man. Come on.
All you gotta do is throw hot water on him, and he's done.
Theta Sigma. Yeah, I mean, Candyman they should have brought back. That's just a disgrace. Freaking disgrace.
What about
honestly? It was a missed opportunity.
What are your thoughts on Ghostlight? Because I know that's kind of a controversial episode with a lot of people. I like the goth feeling of it, but it's
like sometimes you want to take a shower, sometimes you want to take a bath.
It's interesting.
I mean, it's like I guess my mood would change.
Episode. Sometimes you want to take a
shower. I guess like my mood would change. I wasn't crazy about that episode, but sometimes I don't know. It's just
I've heard upon repeat viewings, it tends to kind of make a little
Yeah,
bit more
I'm
sense.
sure I would have to watch it like 5 times more. Yeah, I wasn't crazy with Ghostlight. No, but
Curse
I
of
tell you, Curse of Fenrir, holy crap, how great was that? And then he had this thing that you were like, wait a minute, if he doesn't believe in God, where did he get that faith thing from? Where he's like this and like it's like like he had pure faith and like everybody was like he had holy water all over him or something. Like he was like he was just like was praying or something and like things couldn't go near him. There was
Who
like
was
that
this?
one part. The Seventh Doctor. There was that one part
Well,
where he was like purely like faith. Like
yeah,
it was weird.
but he was having faith in the situation, which is more like a hope
Ah,
than it is the faith. Well, see, that's what I always loved about the Doctors. He's the ultimate symbol of science over superstition. So that's why
well,
the Doctor would never believe in such trivial nonsense as that.
well,
'Cause what God on what planet? He's been to over thousands of planets, and
well.
so.
That's why like right away David Tennant's like yeah I don't know but I don't know about Devil Dude because I've seen them all like so who are
Yeah,
you? Not that very much.
well, and that's exactly how I look at theology. Is it's kind of like
Well, think
everyone's got
about it. I mean, he's the birth and the death of the universe, and then in between and sideways, and he's seen about everything. So nothing's going to surprise him, and he's going to question everything, always.
So, always the sign of a good skeptical mind, which is one of the attributes of the Doctor that is so great. A skeptic, critical thinking,
Yeah.
not into
Exactly.
superstition.
That's right. Oh, somebody beat me. Who beat me? Let me see. So.
Oh, by the way, it's officially after midnight where I'm at, so I'll have to say Happy Thanksgiving to all the American people here.
Absolutely happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And for those that don't celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. Well, have a good day anyway. That's it basically too. Just enjoy your day.
And even to some of the people that we've had some strife with lately, Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to all you mothers. All everybody. Because today was the friggin' greatest, well, actually the greatest night for me. Very happy beyond words.
Would you finally get to meet Matt Smith?
No, but
Okay.
there is going to be a new chapter beginning in my life.
Oh.
Very happy. You will be sick of me because the amount of podcasts that's coming is going to be triple. Get ready.
So that means the people that hate us are going to hate us 3 times as much now.
They will hate. Listen, I love everybody, okay? But I gotta say that, if you really go on my channel, you know that I talk about Doctor Who all the time. And yes, sometimes I don't talk about Doctor Who. But whether you like me or you don't like me, learn to love me. Woo! It's old wrestling Ric Flair, but still, no. Honestly, I am never leaving YouTube ever, and now the time has come to magnify the length of this channel, as well as the websites, as well as the promotions. Comes December and the new year, get ready. And that's all I'm going to say. And yes, I'm going to be doing another book as well. But I'm just happy because it is a positive change. I haven't been this happy in a long time. Doing late night podcasts tonight. Very happy. And nothing's going to sour my mood. So, if you want to join me in this celebration, I will be up for hours doing podcasts, one after the other. And if not, God bless you. But still, talking about Doctor Who, talking about Walking Dead, talking about everything show, talking about the Star Wars trailer. That's what we're doing tonight. So, and maybe even a wrestling one. I could show you some pictures from my old time going to wrestling all the time. So, a lot to look. Freak out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right, that's the end of this episode of the Whovians Cast. Stay tuned for more. Take care. Bye for now.